friends. Welcome to today's football predictions of Betkraft. Okay, today is a beautiful, Monday morning, the 19th day of August, and as usual, a lot of games are going on across the globe. And amongst these many games that's going on across the globe, we usually pick out a few amongst these many and thoroughly take a look into these games and then bring it forward for you. Okay, and yesterday we saw how we performed. We were very successful yesterday, even though we lost one game yesterday out of 6. It actually came from a very, very unlikely source, seeing that Real Madrid is expected to win that match yesterday, and suddenly, they ended up drawing that match, and that was quite unexpected. It does happen in football. That's what happens in football sometimes. That's why we'll always advise that you play responsibly, knowing that sometimes there is always upsets. All right. That being said, in a short while we'll be looking at these football games one after the other, and taking a look at the recent games and also how they fared from home and away perspective, and making our verdict on these very encounters. But I want to use this opportunity to ask those of us who are yet to subscribe to our channel to kindly take out time to hit the subscription button right now, so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this channel on a daily basis. Okay, all right, without further ado, let's dive into the business of the day. And today we are starting with the Serbia League. Pardon me about the name. And in Serbia League, Serbia Second Division Premier League, we'll have Borak coming up against the Bosa. Right, that's the names are quite difficult to pronounce. And when you look at Borak, the home side, they've won 2 matches in the past 6 encounters, but they've also had 4 draws. They've not lost a single match in the past 6 games that they played out so far. And our side, on the other hand, the Bosa have been able to achieve just 1 victory in the past 6, and they've also had 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past 6 recent encounters. And taking a look at how they perform from home and away perspective, because we'll see that the home side, Borak have been able to achieve only 3 victories in the past 10 home games that they played out so far, and they've also had 2 losses and 5 draws. All right, that goes to show that they're having more of a draw in that very league. Looking at their way side, the Bosa, they've also have achieved 2 victories in the past 10 away games, and they've also had 4 losses as well as 4 draws as well. So draw is a thing in this very league, saying that the home side have had 60% draw, and the away side have also seen 40% draw in that very league. Okay, and when you take a look at how those 2 teams fared in the head-to-head perspective, you can see that the last time they met, it was Borak, the home side, who played for home on that occasion, defeated the side by 1-0. And in this very encounter, without spending so much time, we do expect to see the home side either win or draw, and under 3.5. That's our value for this very game. Home win or draw, and less than 3.5, less than 4 goals. That's what we expect. And also in the same league, Serbia Premier Division, Second Division, where we have the second match, Marv coming up against FK Basak. All right, when you look at the home side, they've had 2 victories. They've also had 3 draws as well as 1 loss, and their away side, on the other hand, have had 3 victories, 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the past 6 games that they had in recent games. And looking at the home side, playing the recent games, the past 10 home games that they played so far, have seen them being able to achieve victories on 6 occasions out of 10. They've won 6 games in the past 10 home games that they played out so far, and they've had 4 draws. They've not lost a single match in the past 10 home games. That tells you that they're doing very well when they're playing from home. And the away side, on the other hand, FK Basak have been able to achieve 2 victories in the past 10 away games, but they've also had 1 draw as well as 7 losses in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. All right, that is to say that 70% of the away games that the away side have played so far have actually resulted in a loss. And putting all that together, and also taking a look into the fact that the last head-to-head meetings for both sides saw them playing out a 0-0 draw. Prior to that, we also saw them playing a 0-0 draw, and right before that, they played out a 2-2 draw. And it goes to show that these 2 teams always have the way of ending up in a draw in this very tie. So we do expect to see the home side to win or draw, and under 3.5 as well in this very encounter. So home win or draw and we expect to see less than four goals in this very game. Okay, and that takes us to the next for today. It is in Turkey's second division. We'll have Ahmed coming up against Ahmed SK coming up against the Istanbulspor. All right, the home side been able to achieve 3 victories in the past 6 games that they had, and they've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And looking at their away side, Istanbulspor, who has achieved just 1 victory, but they've also lost 5 games in the past 6 games that they had so far. Istanbulspor used to be in top flight, a top flight club, but actually got relegated to the second division. And when you look at how these 2 teams have fared in the past, you can see that home side Ahmed SK have been able to achieve 7 victories in the past 10 home games, but also they have been able to achieve 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the past 10 home games that they had so far. So they've been able to win 70% of their home games, and that tells you they're doing very well at the moment. And taking a look at their away side, Istanbulspor, who has been actually in the Turkish top flight, they've lost 7 games in the past 10 away games, but they've had 2 draws as well as 1 win in the past 10 away games. All right, even though many of those losses came in their matches against the top flight side, Fenerbahce. Their last loss was against last away loss was against Fenerbahce, and which they also lost to Trabzonspor and Alanyaspor. So it's not a very good side playing from away, and the last time both teams met was in 2017, and they played at a 0-0 draw on that very occasion. So in this very one, we still do expect to see the home side either to win or draw, and under 4.5 in this very game. Home win or draw and under 4.5. That's our verdict for that very encounter. Okay, and that takes us to the next that we have for you today. It is in Norway First Division, where we have Lille OSC, who will be up against Startat FC. Okay, and when you look at Lille OSC, the home side, they have been able to achieve 3 victories in the past 6 recent games, and they've had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And taking a look at the away side, Startat FC have had 2 wins, but they've also lost 4 games in the past 6 recent encounters. And when you take a look at how these 2 teams are performing from home and away perspective, you can as well see that the home side here, Lille OSC, have been able to achieve 5 victories in the past 10 home games, but they have also had 4 draws as well as a single loss in the past 10 home games that they had so far. So that tells you that 50% of the home games have actually resulted to wins for the home side. But away side, on the other hand, Startat have been able to manage only 2 draws in the past only 3 draws in the past 10 away games, but have lost a whopping 7 games out of those 10 away games that they played out so far. They've not been able to win a single match in the past 10 away games, and it tells you that it is a very poor side, especially when they're playing from away. And they're looking at the head-to-head performances for both sides. You could see that the last time both teams met, Lille OSC was playing from away on that occasion. That was in June this year, and we saw Lille OSC defeating this side by 4-1 from away on that occasion. And prior to that, in 2009, that was at that time both teams met. We saw Lille OSC play from home on that occasion, also defeating this side by 4-1 once again. And putting all that together, we know that the home side is actually capable, and it's highly likely to pick up the sports in this very encounter. It is the home side to win. That's our value for that very encounter. Okay, and that will take us to the next game for today, also in Norway, but Norway Division 2, where we have Sked will be up against Valen 2. Okay, and Sked have been able to achieve 2 victories, and they've also had 4 draws in the past recent 6 games that they had. And Valen second have managed 2 wins and also 4 losses in the past 6 recent games that they had so far. And looking at how they're performing from home and away perspective, you can see that Sked, the home side, have been able to achieve 5 victories from home. They've also had 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past 10 home games that they had so far. And also the away side, Valen 2 have been able to manage 2 wins, but they've lost 8 games in the past 10 away games. Alright, it tells you that they've lost a whole lot of games in that. But when you look at that, the home side closely, you could see that the last 10 home games that they played out so far have seen them, achieving a very high scoreline in their matches. 8 out of those 10 games actually saw them, scoring, high amount of goals achieving an over 2.5 on that on those on 8 occasions out of 10. And the away side, looking at the away side also, the past 10 away games, I have seen them, achieving a high scoring encounter on 9 occasions out of 10. 9 occasions out of 10 I've seen them seeing over 2.5 in their matches. So we do expect result like that. Also noting the fact that the last 2 times both teams met have always produced over 3.5 goals. So we do expect to see a minimum of 3 goals in this very encounter. It is an over 2.5. That's our verdict for that very game. Okay, and that takes us to the next, which happen to be the last for the day. It is in Argentine Premier C, where we have General La Madrid, who will be up against Sportivo Baracas. Okay, General La Madrid, the home side, have won 3 games in the past 6, but they've also had 2 draws as well as 1 loss. And Sportivo Baracas have managed just a single victory in the past 6, but they've all had 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past recent 6 games that they've played so far. So when you look at how these 2 teams have performed from home and away perspective, you could see that General Madrid, the home side, have been able to achieve 8 victories in the past 10 home games, but they have also had 1 loss as well as 1 draw in the past 10 home games that they played out. So far, that tells you 80% of the home matches have resulted in wins for the home side, and it shows you that it's a very good side and they're doing very well at the moment. And the away side, on the other hand, Sportivo Baracas have been able to manage just 3 victories in the past 10 away games, but they've also had 3 draws as well, and also 4 losses in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. When you look at how these 2 teams have fared from home and away perspective, you can as well see that the last time they met, which was in March this year, saw General La Madrid on that occasion defeating Sportivo Baracas from away, beating them by 3-0. And prior to that, we also saw General Madrid beating this side in 2019 by 3-1 from home on that occasion. So we're looking at the recent game, which was March this year, and Manchester Madrid won by 3-0 on that occasion. So it is the home side today, Real Madrid, that's expected to rise to the occasion, seeing that they've been doing very well, winning 80% of their home matches, and they also won this head-to-head meeting in the last time they met. So we do expect the home side winning outrightly in this very game. It is a home win. That's our verdict for that very encounter, and that brings our predictions for you today to a conclusion. And I wish you the very best of luck. I hope your ticket goes green, and also remember to play responsibly. It's only a football game, like we saw yesterday. Real Madrid, of all teams, missing out missing out on victory against Mallorca on that occasion unexpectedly. And so today, I wish you the very best of luck. I hope all your ticket goes green once again. And remember, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions on this very channel. And I will urge you to not miss out. But until then, keep winning.